We'll do Form C, which is going to be the trailer. We'll start with the front of the trailer. The front of the trailer should have no holes. Any welds should not be broken. Any rivets that you have should be secure. Check my tarp rack. It should be securely mounted, not bent or broke. Come to the landing gear. My landing gear should be straight. Any bracing should be secure. No broken welds or bolts. Pads should not be bent or broke. They should be whole. Landing gear should be all the way up. If you have a handle, the handle should be secured. I'll check my frame. No cracks in the frame. No welding. No holes. Any cross members should be straight, welded in place or bolted in place. And I have to check my trailer for any holes in the floor of my trailer. We'll proceed to the rear of my trailer. We only have to inspect one axle. I'll inspect my rear axle. We'll start from the outside and work inside on this axle. I like to start with my wheel seal. Bolts should be tight. Should be no leaks. This has a sight glass to check my fluid. I have to check my fluid and make sure it's at sufficient level. Check my lug nuts. Make sure there's none missing. All are tight. No signs of rust indicate my lug nuts might be loose. I check my rim. No cracks on my rim. No welds on my rim. Has a good bead to the tire. It's not rusted. Check my tire. Start with my valve stem. Should be straight, not leaking, cap in place. Check my tire pressure with an air gauge. Sidewalls of my tire should have no splits or cuts or bubbles. Minimum tread depth should be 2/32 of an inch. I'll check in between my tires, make sure there's no debris, my rims are flush together. We'll go on to my suspension. My spring mounts, they're welded in place. No broken welds, all my bolts are tight. My front spring mount is not cracked. Also check my rear spring mount the same way. No broken welds, no moistened bolts, tight. Rear spring mount is not bent or cracked. We'll check my springs. They should be straight, in alignment, not cracked or rusted. Check my U-bolts, should not be shifted, not cracked. Nuts should be tight. And check my torque arm. It should be straight, no missing bolts. It's not cracked. Bushings should be whole or not missing. I'm going to go around the rear of my trailer. I can see my brake parts a little easier from the rear. I'll check my air hose. Make sure it's not kinked, swollen. Fittings are secure. Air hose is not leaking. My brake chamber should be securely mounted. Nuts are tight. Not cracked, leaking. Got to check my clamps on my brake chambers. Double brake chamber. Check my push rod. My push rod should be straight. Should not be cracked. Should not travel over 1 inch with the parking brake released. Check my slack adjuster. My pins are in place. Attaching it to my push rod. My slack adjuster is straight, not cracked. Go to my drums. My drum should be smooth, not cracked, no grease or oil. Bolts are tight. Check my brake pads. Should be sufficient, approximately 1/4 inch. Should not be chipped. No grease or oil on my brake pads. Then we'll inspect the rear of our vehicle. or mud flaps. No missing bolts, not split or cut, should be sufficient length. Check my door. My door should open and close. Should not have any holes, no broken welds. I'll check my hinges at the top, no missing bolts, should be secure. If I have any type of seal, I would check the seal on my door. We'll check my lights. They should be securely mounted, not cracked, clean, red in color. Check any reflective tape that I have. Should not be peeling, should be whole, should be clean on both my truck and my tailgate. That concludes Form C of the video. Next we're going to do the coupling system.